Welcome back, guys. I got another dish for you. I'm gonna demo today. So what we have is a one-pot dish. It's gonna be white beans, kale, turkey sausage. It's really easy. It's great for midweek dinner. Everything goes in one pot. You can get this knocked out actually in about 15 total minutes. We're going to take a little extra step just to brown the sausage, which is going to take an additional 5 minutes, but this is quick and easy. And so what we have in this dish is we have some turkey sausage, we have our onions, garlic, carrots, celery, tomatoes, we have some white beans that have been cooked. These were dry, they were cooked out, and then we have some kale that's been washed and cut up, and then we have our seasonings. We have bay leaves, red pepper flakes, oregano, and our salt and pepper, and we have some white wine. White wine is not required, but it's a good flavor profile, good flavor component. And we also have some chicken stock that's been simmering on the stove. So this is another dish I've been making for quite some time, and actually it was requested by my niece recently. I totally forgot about this dish, so I told her, sure, I'll make this for you, and so she can cook it for herself. So as usual, we start off with some grapeseed oil. So we're going to have enough to coat the bottom of the pan. Let's get this cranked up. And so what we're going to do is we're going to start off browning the sausage. It's always good to brown your meat because color on your meat is always flavorful. So this also will add flavor to your oil. If you're using a pork sausage, you wouldn't need as much oil, or like a beef sausage, you can use that, whatever flavor sausage you like. I like any kind of sausage that has a smoke component to it. There's some smokiness to it. So whatever your favorite smoked sausage is, you can definitely use that. So we got this going. Let's see. So it looks pretty. You can kind of feel it. If you're not sure if it's hot enough, old school test. It will sizzle, so it's not there yet. So let's drop it. I think we can drop this though. I can feel the heat coming off. Oh, not the sizzle we wanted. There we go. It's starting to make some noise. So we're going to dump this in. Like I said, it's not going to take that long. This is the longest really component of actually cooking. So we're going to get this going, get this brown. Just take a few minutes. You can hear it sizzling now, and you can smell it already. Now this can be done as a soup style also. It really just depends on how much broth you like. We like the beans kind of creamy and it being more just of a, I don't know what to call it. I think a soup. Like a really kind of light soup. Not as brothy soup. So everything's cooked through, has great flavors, but you know, we don't like it with a lot of broth. But you could definitely use as much broth as you would like. If you want this more of as a soup variation. So you can see there's that color coming. It's coming. You can see we're getting some brown on this. So we're getting there. Yeah, getting that color. A few more minutes, and then we're gonna have enough color. And you can take this. You know, browning meat and foods is definitely, you know, your flavor preference. So some people like it really, like their meat's very dark. You know, it's just what you like. I like a nice golden brown. I like some sear, some char on the ends. So you can see it's getting there. We're almost there. Some good color on here. And I wish you guys could smell this. And this is just the start of it. So once we add these other elements, it's going to be crazy. So let's just leave that, let this hang out. And I have this on like a medium high right now. If it starts getting too hot, it's a very easy way to fix when your pan is too hot. You just remove it off the heat and turn the heat down and let it cool down for a second. If this gets too hot and gets out of control, that's with cooking at any time. Don't panic. Don't think it's something. Don't put water in here. Just remove it. Turn the heat down. You know, count to 10. Normally your pot or your dish will cool down enough for you to take control of your browning. We're getting there. You can hear it going. So another minute. Most of these should be pretty good. And this is a lighter flavor, so you don't want too much color also. I found like if it's too dark, it might be a little too dominant. You want this to be pretty balanced. So we're going to let this hang out one more minute, and then we're going to remove this from the pan. Oh yeah. And we're going to, I think that takes to a minute. So now what we're going to do, we're going to turn these down. This next step is cooking these veggies. We don't want to burn these. We want a nice saute on them. So I'm putting this on a paper towel to drain. Let's this out. We don't want to take all this oil out because we want to cook with this oil. It's been flavored with the flavor of the sausage. So this is a good amount of oil. And now this has come down a little bit, but we're going to have this on a medium heat. And we're going to start off with onions. So I use one onion. And we have 3 cloves of garlic going in this pan also. We're just going to let this, once you see this start turning a little color, we're going to add our next component. So this pan still has some good heat. So we don't want to burn this garlic, but we want to see these onions start changing colors. I'm going to add a little salt. Salt does well with onions, so we add a little bit of salt. And seasoning is always to taste. So this is some good color. We got good color on here. So now we're going to add, these are starting to get a little translucent. Smells really good. So now we're going to add our celery and our carrots. We got most of that. Yep, there we go. Here's our celery. I'm gonna cook that a little bit. Now I forgot to add You like a little heat, a little light heat, just a heat. So we're adding some red pepper flakes, to your taste. We just want to underline heating. I think that's all we're going to use for now. Remember, you can always add. You can't take away with cooking. So if you're not sure, be conservative in the beginning. But you always want to salt as you go along. So everything has its own flavor. So this smells really good. We're just going to let this go for a minute. Let these carrots get going. More carrots. Alright. This is going really good. Smelling good. So we don't need to cook this carrot all the way through. We just want to kind of get some color on there, a little color. Then we're going to add our tomatoes next. Alright. We're going to salt these some more. Tomatoes do well with salt. And now we're going to add some pepper. And let's just let this get going. And these tomatoes are going to help us kind of build a sauce. Smells good. Now we're going to turn this over. Pepper. So our next component we're going to add is the wine. Now we have some Sauvignon Blanc. And you eyeball this. A cup of wine is pretty good. That's pretty good. It's going to cook off. The alcohol is going to cook off. Sauvignon Blanc has a nice fruitiness when you cook with it. So I'm going to turn this up a little bit. We want this wine to cook off, the alcohol to cook off. And now we got a really good base for these beans. So we want to get a nice simmer on this. You can smell that wine. Oh yeah, you can smell that. We're gonna go and add some, and we have some oregano. So we're gonna add some of that. Once again, eyeballs. So this is probably a half a tablespoon. Oh yeah, it's going. You can see the tomatoes starting to cook down and break down. This is kind of giving you a nice base. Let's see. Alright, so this, you can't even smell the wine anymore. So this is at a great point. So, I always like doing a bay leaf. We're going to do 2. Bay leaf and beans are really good. So, oh, that smells really good. You get that bay leaf is starting to permeate. And now we're going to add our beans. And so, we're going to add, let's see, how many? We can add all these. Thought it was more than that, but this will probably be 2 cans of beans. So we're just gonna get this all mixed together. And we're gonna add our sausage back into this. We're gonna add, let's see. Oop. Oh, yeah, that's looking good right there. So we're gonna add the rest of the sausage. And we're gonna let this hang out. So you can see some of the liquid is starting to go away. We need the liquid in here to cook the beans. And so these were dry beans, so these are a little, they have a little texture to them, so we want these to cook. But if these were canned beans, you'd pretty much be close to done to be able to just cook your kale. So what we're gonna do now is add some chicken broth that we have. If you don't have chicken broth, wine is fine. This is just another flavor component. So we just wanna, as you can see, we just wanna cover the beans. So I wanna cover these beans. Get all this goodness down. And right here, actually, you could just, this could be it. This could be the end. But the kale just adds another component, nutritionally and flavor-wise. And so we're just gonna let these beans hang out. You can see it's just covered. So we're gonna light this. We're gonna cover these up. And we're gonna leave this on medium heat. And we're gonna give it about, I'll say 10 minutes. We'll check in 10 minutes, and from there we'll add the kale. Once the beans are the good texture, like creamy, we're gonna come back, add the kale, put a lid on, and that'll be the dish, and we'll serve it up. So we're gonna take a break right now. Hey guys, welcome back. So it's been about 12 minutes, and we're gonna check on our beans. And so you can see they're going. They absorb this liquid. You can see the color in here. That tomato's broken down. So I just want to check the flavor on these. See if I need to add salt. It's a little hot. Be careful. So that's like perfect. You want these to be like creamy. Yeah, you want these to be creamy. So what we're going to do, we're going to add some salt first. Put this down. We're going to salt these. These are beans. We haven't flavored our beans at all, besides the cooking liquid. So we're going to add that. Actually, we're going to finish that. Then we're going to add more pepper. Always salt and pepper. And you can see, look at that. The cooking liquid is really been absorbed into the beans. And so I'm going to actually add a little more. I'm going to add more of our chicken stock, because we're going to next cook our kale. So we need more liquid. And this kale, this is actually just one bunch I've gotten from the market that's been chopped and cleaned. So we're going to add our liquid first. So that's a good amount of liquid. And this is going to continue cooking our beans. And some of these beans may break down, which is fine. It just adds texture to this broth, to the dish. And so this is still on the medium. And now what we're going to do, add our kale. Now you can use kale. I would use kale. Mustard greens actually wouldn't be bad in here. I wouldn't do it with a collard. That might be just because of the texture. You need to cook collards down more. And so this kale has a good texture. When I originally made this, I was using the black Tuscan kale, which is a flatter leaf. And this is all going to cook down, like all leafy greens. once you start cooking it, it wilters down, and this doesn't look as much as you think. So we got this, got all of our kale in there. We're gonna cover this up. That's hot. We're gonna cover it up, still on medium heat, and we're gonna let this go probably for another 5 minutes, and then we'll come back and then we're gonna plate and taste it. So we'll see. Hey guys, welcome back. So it's been about 5 minutes, and I'm gonna turn this off. This kale's, you can see, it's wilted down, so pretty much done. And you can see it's not as much liquid in there. That's why I said it's not really a soup. But if you wanted more a soupier version, you would just add more broth right here. More broth, or you know, and we got a you can see this is just kind of going away, and you'll see that with any leafy greens, pretty much. Like I said, I will use, if you don't want to use kale, I will use mustard greens. That would be a good alternative. Add a good flavor component. And here's our bay leaf. So I'm gonna take this out because we don't need that anymore. I'm gonna salt this one last time because the kale didn't get any salt. So just, you know, just add a little bit there, and that's it. This was pretty fast. And this is our, let's get a nice bowl. Oh, we don't want that. Don't eat this. It's never good. So you can see all our flavors in here. And so you can see the kale and the carrot. Here's a sausage. And if you wanted to, you could finish this with some chopped parsley. I wouldn't finish with a dry parsley. And so you can see we got everything here, all of our components. One bite, pretty uniformly. Get a piece of carrot. This is hot. Be careful. Exactly what I was looking for. The sausage, you taste the smokiness from the sausage. You get the nice bite from the beans that are creamy. A little back spice, just enough to say there's some spice in there. And then we have the kales as well. So it's a nice deal. This is very filling. If you wanted to, you could add a nice piece of bread with it, like in the freezer. Have a piece of focaccia bread, so that'd be nice with this, something like that, or even a roll. Perfect dinner. Have this with a nice glass of wine, and just, you know, relax. Like I said, for me, this is a pretty quick meal. Total about, from prep to cooking, is 30 minutes total. The actual cooking time is about 15 minutes. It's really easy. The kale you can buy in the bag, pre-cut. Same thing with the onions and carrots if you wanted to cut down time. But yeah, so guys, this is the one pot meal of white beans, turkey sausage, kale for you. So thanks for joining me again. If you guys have any, you know, comments or anything, or want to share any your thoughts on this meal, let us know. So as always, like, subscribe, comment, share our page if you're enjoying it. And that's it for now. Come back next time when we have another cooking demo or any of our other videos. But thanks and have a good night. Later.